All right, folks, welcome to Nino's Corner.tv. This is going to go on my Fluff Tube, hopefully. You still have your channel on there, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm with San Joaquin Valley, where they audit the police. I think this is very important in this day and age. Man, mi tocayo, what's going on, brother?
Good, bro. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, man. Yeah, so how's it going? It's been a while. I know you were like, "Whoa, dude, why'd you take the video down?" I took the video down because I purged my videos on FluffTube just to stay safe. So I was like, you know what? We gotta do another video. We gotta do another one because I take all the old stuff down. So
Word,
just to save my channel, you know what I mean?
word. Yeah, makes sense.
So man, so you're still at it? You're still going strong? Are you still auditing the police?
So I help mostly now I share videos and I help other channels grow. I try to get them, up and going. But for the most part, I still go out in my area. I go record police. I try to do it respectfully. I try to talk to them, or I try to just observe. I try not to get involved or try to interfere in any kind of way. I don't try to step on anyone's toes or anything like that while they're out there doing their job. But I just try to record and document. Oftentimes, especially in my area, police now know not to mess with me or bother with me. They did create a card specifically because of me, where on one side of the card it shows First Amendment audits and how to deal with First Amendment auditors, and on the other side it actually shows them the First Amendment of the Constitution. So that card that the city manager and city attorney drew up, they give it to every cop now just in case they stumble upon me who's out there recording. And I think that's yeah, I think that's important because many years ago when I started, I seen a news segment that said that Kern County was the deadliest county for police justified killings. And I wanted to go out and record, and I wanted cops to feel that somebody's out there recording and documenting, the interactions. Even if I'm not there, I wanted them to think like someone's there and stuff. So that's
So you're
kind of what
policing the police.
policing the police. That's right.
Wow, bro. So this has caught fire, man, to the point that they had to distribute cards to the police on
Right.
how to deal with you?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Actually, recently, I hired an ex-cop from my area, and she actually I kind of cussed her out a long time ago, and but she's no longer a cop, and she's writing a book, and the book is called Crooked Blue Line. And she's an ex-cop, and she just in her book she talks a lot about what she's had to deal with, the culture of policing, the nature of it, and you kind of have to join a special club, and if you're not in this club, they're gonna find a way to kick you out. And a lot of people say sometimes in our comments like, well, if you want to change things, why don't you just become a cop? Seek to change things from the inside. But I think that sounds like a good idea, but I don't think that's exactly how it works. So
I've seen some of Chili Castro's videos, your videos. You both have very different approaches. That's all I'm just gonna leave it at.
right.
Chili's more almost like and I'm not talking bad. I like Chili. But it's very confrontational, okay, with these cops. I feel like you don't step over that line too much. You're more respectful, right? You both have different methods in going about this. I've noticed your method is more. I've noticed you're more respectful to the cops. You don't really try to get in the way of their a traffic stop or their due process, right? I mean, you're not confrontational. Like Chili's a little different.
Right.
Right?
And I'm known to, have mild interactions. Not every cop watch that I do gets hundreds of thousands of views because I'm not really, trying to drop F-bombs to them just for the hell of it. There have been videos where cops try to violate my rights or come at me really aggressive, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of lose it sometimes, and I, kind of go, what I like to call going ham on the bacon. Sometimes if they if they get aggressive with me, then I kind of let them know that I'm not afraid. And I beat 2 charges out here in my area, 2 arrests for, just recording them and just, arresting me unlawfully. I've already beat 2 charges. So it's kind of, I try to make it more educational. I want to, get to know the cops in my area. I want the people to watch the videos and get to know them. They're one of the things that I've noticed a lot, and I've been recording some of these things, is cops out here in my area, they like to, turn with no signal lights, speed without emergencies, run red lights, just do everything that they ticket people for. And there was one time where I went to the mayor's office and I asked to speak to the mayor. She wasn't there, so I left a note with the secretary, letting the mayor know. And I gave the mayor my email address, and I basically had her write it down that I've been catching police, driving without emergency lights fast, just different things that, infractions that they ticket people for. And I told her that day that I believe that cops are going to end up killing somebody. And just a few days after I left that note, a cop ran a stop sign and killed someone. And
Wow.
I did find the mayor at a private meeting, a private party actually, right during work hours, and I asked the mayor about it. And that short video is on my channel, and I told her, I was like, "Look, I left you a note, and you didn't do anything about it. This could be an easy fix. Talk to the chief of police, and make these cops follow the same traffic laws that we have to." Now, I understand if a cop is chasing a criminal or something like that, they have to break traffic infractions, break traffic laws, but nothing is being done about it. Still to this very day, we see cops hauling ass and just doing, like I said, doing the same thing that they ticket people for.
So, like, what's the average age of a cop anyway, man? Like, what age do they usually get into the force? Is it like 21 to like 25 is the average age of a cop, or is it 21 to 30, 35? What is the average age?
They
I
try
feel
to
like
get
you're
them
old to
young,
be a police officer if you're over 30.
right? I think they try to get them young, fresh out of high school, even. Nowadays, from California to New York and everywhere in between, it's kind of hard to hire cops. I don't want to say nobody wants to become a cop anymore, but now they have to give incentives for cops to become people to become cops. They're offering money, sign-on bonuses and stuff like that. And
Why do you think this is?
I think it's just the nature of policing itself. I think that
They're so
it's
hated. I mean, they've got a bad rap.
yeah, one of the comments we get a lot is police earn the hate, and I guess throughout the years of showing these videos, we expect cops to do a good job and treat people. It's actually in their policy to be respectful and to be professional at all times, but you don't see that often. Sometimes you do, and cops, they have a tough job, and I personally think that detectives have a tough job going after criminals, people that actually have committed crimes and have created victims. And so cops, a lot of times now, we just see them kind of just like you've said it before, looking like glorified bouncers, and just going out and trying to generate revenue for the state and being very disrespectful. On one traffic stop, you'll see 3 or 4 cop cars now, and just very aggressive towards people, pulling guns out on
Like, it's an
people.
adrenaline rush for them to like put someone in jail. Like,
Yeah.
they get off on that.
Yeah, actually, the second video that I sent you, it was a traffic stop, and the guy got out of his car, his truck, and the cop actually pulled his gun out on him. And that's kind of what we're seeing, aggressive behavior, and it's a dangerous world, I believe that it's becoming. And one of the things that I've uncovered since I started doing my channel is one of the reasons why I try to bring a respectful approach is because I want to understand their thought process. And one of the things I started asking cops when I first started, and I've been doing it a long time, is I ask every cop that I encounter if they know the First Amendment of the Constitution, and they don't know it.
They don't
Many of
know
them,
pretty much any of the any of the amendments of the Constitution. I know that for a fact because I know police, and I've asked them about that, and they don't know.
they don't know.
They don't know. They need to know and uphold the Constitution.
That's right. There was a thing that I wrote down, and let me read it to you really quick. So, cops not knowing the oath they swear to is the equivalent to a construction worker not knowing how to use a measuring tape, an Uber driver not knowing how to use GPS, a seamstress not knowing how to use a sewing machine, a bartender not knowing how to mix drinks, a chef not knowing how to season food, a professional fighter not knowing how to grapple, a teacher not knowing how to read, a rock star not knowing how to sing, a meteorologist not knowing about atmospheric science, a dog groomer not knowing how to style a cut, a pilot not knowing physics or aerodynamics, a news anchor not knowing communications, a lifeguard who can't swim, a bodyguard with no size or muscles, and a food critic with no palate. how important is the cops knowing the oath that they swear to? It is that important. You know, it's like any kind of job that you get, not knowing how to do your job. You'd be out of there fast. And you know that's one of the things I uncovered while asking cops these questions and talking to them is they don't know it. And you know, even now I try to, you know, ask it in a different way. There's one channel who actually perfected that question. You know, first he'll ask a cop, like, you know, if I ask you a question and you didn't know the answer, you know, would you go out and try to find the answer? You know, and cops will be like, yeah, yeah. And then he asks him, do you know the five freedoms of the First Amendment? And sometimes they'll just shut down as well. So sometimes it doesn't matter if you ask them in an aggressive manner or
So
just
what do these cards have on them if they come and encounter someone like you? What are these? Does it have the list of the amendments? What does this card have on it?
Yeah, it basically it runs it down for them verbatim on what the First Amendment is, and at the very top it tells them speech, press, and religion, and assembly, and petition. So it's five, you know, five freedoms that, you know, and I say this all the time. The First Amendment, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, these documents were not written to give us our rights. We were born with natural rights. These amendments were written to limit the scope of authority that cops and government has over we the people. And I think that this is one of the things that I think everybody can agree on, whether you're left or right, you know, red or blue, you know, gay or straight, man or woman, young or old, you know, pretty or ugly. We can all agree that we have natural rights and we need to know these natural rights. When you begin to know and understand what your natural rights are, you'll begin to know and understand what other people's rights are. So if you see somebody riding around in a tricycle with a tutu on, it's a full-grown man with a beard, and it's weird, right? You don't like it. As long as he's not breaking any laws, as long as he's not doing anything to your kids, as long as he's not doing anything bad, you know, illegal, that's creating it doesn't matter if you don't like it. You'll begin to
Is
understand,
right.
hey, leave him alone. It's his right to be weird if he wants, you know. So
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. My thing is this, and I respect law enforcement. I do. So this is not, we're not bashing police here.
right.